Welcome to the Generation Funhouse podcast. Today we're going to review the HTC Touch HD and compare it to two other smartphones. First, the most innovative touchscreen phone, the iPhone 3G. Then the Samsung Player Addict, also known as the E900 or Omnia. Let's sort them by screen size: 3.2 inches, 3.5 inches, and 3.8 inches. And the most impressive, the screen resolution. It's WVGA 800 per 480. The screen pixel per point value is huge. It's not real HD resolution, but it's still amazing. The HD is a touchscreen smartphone like the Diamond, but you don't have to press as hard on the screen. The screen sensitivity is quite close to the iPhone. This is not the same touchscreen technology as the iPhone, but it's still a very sensitive screen. As you can see, if I press slightly, nothing happens. You have to press a bit harder. But it's faster than the Diamond on using TouchFlow 3D, despite the fact that it's still a pre-release version. Let's imagine it with the final software. The TouchFlow 3D didn't really evolve with this pre-release. Okay, so let's check out the internet. With a screen size that big, it is very convenient. The web browsing on Opera is fantastic. You can see that on this pre-release an error occurs when we start the Opera, but the browser still works fine. Before browsing, let's have a look at the hardware. Under the screen there are 4 sensitive buttons like on the LG Chocolate. Here is the volume control button. It's quite thin. A 3.5mm jack for audio, FM radio and hands-free kit, so you can use your own headphones. The 5-megapixel optics with autofocus, which make great pictures but no flash, which is weird. There's a magnetic stylus, even so you don't need it with a screen that big, but on Windows Mobile it's still useful for the reset switch. Here are the microphone and the USB plug, used also for charging the phone. The accelerometer works fine. You can find this function on a lot of phones today, like the iPhone or the Samsung. So let's take a look at the keyboard. It's quite big and very convenient. You can use it in landscape mode, but only on Opera, on this pre-release version, not with SMS and not with emails. Let's compare the web browsing on funhouse.fr on the 3 phones. On the HD, with a big screen resolution, the website is tiny. In landscape view, the website is still readable. And you can notice that the Samsung Player Addict uses Opera too. Opera is a big challenger for Safari. It's very impressive and fast. You can use it full screen, and on Windows Mobile it's much better than Internet Explorer. We can notice a difference between Opera and Safari on one page of the Phonehouse website, certainly due to style sheet's problem. On Safari there is a bug, which is not on Opera. There is no multi-touch screen on the HD, so you have to double tap to zoom in or zoom out. Or you can also use the zoom function, which is symbolized by a magnifying glass at the bottom left-hand corner. This function you can only find in the HD. You can find all the other functions of Opera, such as new tabs and so on. The HD has an assisted GPS. A GPS on such a big screen is great. Sadly, Google Maps is the only software delivered with a pre-release. We tried to install TomTom Navigator 7, but it failed, certainly due to unstable software. Windows Mobile has big contextual menus for finger use, so goodbye stylus. You can use the phone with finger only. It's a big step for WinMo. The HD is very fast on TouchFlow 3D, which is really impressive, as Darth Vader would say. The camera takes good picture for Windows Mobile smartphone. Here you can quickly see some camera settings, such as white balance, brightness and so on. Let's take a picture. You can only use the touch screen. There's no camera button on the HD. Bright side here, a selective autofocus is integrated, so you touch the screen area and the Touch HD focuses on it. That's a function I would like to have on my iPhone. If we compare the camera views, you can notice that HD is as swift as iPhone, but with HD you can also make movies. Now let's go on YouTube. As you can see, it's quite slow on the Touch HD pre-released version. As you can see, the keyboard is great, and notice that when you touch a key, it's getting bigger as on the iPhone. Now we launch the same video on both phones. Our last legend, wait for it, Terry, video podcast on the LG Prada. You can adjust the video size using pan and scan button. It's very useful with such a big screen. The only thing I don't like on this phone is Windows Mobile. It's not up to the current standard of ergonomy, so please HTC, do it with Google Android. The HD doesn't have an internal memory at the iPhone or the Player Addict, but you can still insert a micro SD card. The micro SD card port is under the rear cover. Notice that the card is hot swappable. You can switch to video call mode with one button, but we have no SIM card inside, so it won't work here. The HD is a beautiful smartphone with a very refined and stylish design. One more thing, the rear panel is made of soft touch material like the HTC Touch. The camera protection seems to be metallic. A pretty design with a nice glossy screen contour. And a small VGA camera for video calls. Thank you for watching this worldwide video premiere of the HD. As you wanted, we tried to do an English version. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time for our podcast.